Hey everyone, welcome to day one of the 28-day lockdown challenge to start your day with movement. So thanks for joining me, and I hope you guys have some fun with this. Maybe learn a little bit more about how your body moves, and honestly it's such a great way to start your day, or even just take a midday break and get your body moving from head to toe. Just remember that you only want to go into a range of motion that's doable for you that day. You might have a day that you're a little bit stiffer than others, and that's okay. So just tune in with your body, follow whatever range you have, and let's get going. 20 minutes. All right, we're going to start on our feet today. So standing up nice and tall, you're going to start by tucking your chin in and rolling one vertebrae at a time. Really try to round your low back. Most of us have a stiff low back. And then you're going to slowly roll back up one vertebrae at a time. And look up to the ceiling. Try to keep your teeth together but not clinch. And roll back down one vertebrae at a time. Round your upper back, mid back, low back. Take a nice big deep breath in through your nose and out. Slowly walk your hands to the left. Let your butt sway over. Same thing. Nice big deep breath in and exhale. Then walk your hands over to the right. Should feel a stretch maybe down the side of your leg, side of your bum, maybe even side of your low back. Nice big deep breaths. And slowly roll back up one vertebrae at a time. One more. Tuck your chin in, let your shoulders relax, slump yourself forward, round, 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 one vertebrae at a time. Take a deep breath in. This time when you exhale, see if you can let yourself fall a little bit deeper into your stretch. And roll yourself back up. Beautiful. Wide straddle. Try to go as wide as you can. You're going to put one hand on the floor, push through the floor, rotate the other hand as far as you can. You're trying to rotate the chest with the fingers. Try not to move the hips. So that was one per side. We're going to do 5 per side. We're waking up our spine here, just trying to get some nice rotation. Push through the floor to kind of assist you in pushing a little bit further. This is 3 for me. Push. Rotate, push, rotate. One more each side. Excellent. Leave your feet in that position. Slowly walk your hands over to your left side. If you can, sit all the way down. Bring your chest up. Otherwise, just go to whatever depth you have. Stay nice and low and walk your hands over to the right. Sit into your side lunge. Maybe this is a movement that you're going to find out on day one you need a little bit of extra help with. Just keep at your own pace, switching from left to right. Remember, we're just starting our day with movement, so it's okay if you're a little bit stiffer. We'll follow whatever range you have and switch back over. And then come back up. Place your hands on your knees, go into a deep sumo squat. Try to drop your tailbone down the middle. I'm driving my knees out with my hands. You can slowly rotate one shoulder. Feel the stretch in your inner thighs. Rock side to side. Play around with this. Like I said, we're starting our day with movement. We're exploring what does our body offer us today. And stand back up. Beautiful. We're going to wake up our toes. So you're going to go down on your knees. Try to curl your toes under and sit back. If you're unable to sit all the way back, you can lean on your hands, or you can put yoga blocks underneath your knees. So we're just going to sit in this position, and while we're sitting here, we're going to do nice big arm circles. Our goal today is just to move every joint in our body, head to toe movement, to wake us up and start our day. And reverse. Don't forget to keep breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Beautiful. We're going to be sitting on our toes this time. So make your feet go flat. If you have your toes touching but your heels rocked out to the side, try to bring those heels together so they're right underneath your butt bones. Then we're going to move our neck. So big neck circles. Try to keep the teeth together without clenching. Remember, your range can always start smaller and make its way up. And reverse. Don't forget to keep breathing. And switch. Big circles. You might get a little bit of crunching at first. Just slowly work your way through it. You maybe not have moved your neck as in this direction in a while. And then same thing with the shoulders. Big shoulder circles. And forwards. Try to bring your shoulder blades together, up towards your ears, as forwards as you can, and down. So really exaggerate your shoulder movement. Try not to move your ribs as you're doing this. Try to isolate, feeling your shoulder blades glide along your ribs. I've reversed again. If you have one direction that feels like it needs a little bit more love, show it more love and do it a little bit more. I'm going to go forwards once more. Excellent. Then I'm going to turn my back to you so you can have a better view of what I'm doing with my shoulders, but we're going to do a behind the head, behind the back reach. Try to touch your fingers together and then draw a really big circle and reverse. Try to keep your head back. So try not to poke your chin forward as you do your big circles, big rotations, whatever speed is doable for you. Remember, keep those ribs down and stacked over your pelvis. If your knees and ankles are getting a little bit sore in this position, just pop yourself back up onto your toes. We're going to do one more each arm. And come back. Beautiful. We're going to go move down to our wrists. You're going to start on your hands and knees. You're going to go put the back of your hands on your thighs, slide them down so that your fingers are nice and spread on the floor. Palms on the floor, fingertips pointed toward your knees. The further your hands are from your knees, and the more you sit back, the bigger stretch you'll get. Try to draw some circles with your body, always pushing our fingertips into the floor. And reverse. This is 2 for me. So I'm constantly pushing my fingertips into the floor, going into whatever range of motion feels comfortable today. Then we're going to keep our palms of our hands on the floor and turn our fingers to 3 and 9 o'clock. And then same thing, spread your fingers on the floor and you're going to gently push yourself from side to side. So I'm not just swaying, I'm pushing myself over with one hand and the other hand is gently resisting. You should feel a nice big stretch deep into your forearm. Don't forget to keep breathing, no holding the breath. Always go in a range that feels comfortable. And maybe your range starts really, really small, and then as you work your way through the stretch, your range gets larger. Excellent. Then our next one is going to be place the palms of your hands on your thighs, slide your hands down, and flip them over. So if this is too much for you today, just do one hand at a time, keeping your other hand on the floor to absorb your weight. My elbow creases are facing each other, and I'm just trying to make some fists as I keep my elbows straight. Make sure you're not shrugging your shoulders, so keep the shoulders down and relaxed. Just trying to make fists. You probably won't be able to actually make a fist, so just do whatever is available to you today. Waking up our wrists, our forearms, and our fingers next. Let's do 3 more. You can hold for a little bit longer or a little bit shorter. Play around with both, see what feels better today. Good. Then you're going to bring your hands back to fingers pointing away from your knees, palms on the floor. You're just going to lean forward, try to go up onto your knuckles, feel the stretch through the palm of your hand and your fingers, drop your palms, and come back onto your toes. So you're going to lean forward, push yourself up onto onto your knuckles, fingers are staying on the floor. Drop the palms and lean back. Lean forwards, up onto the knuckles, down and back. Same thing, follow with whatever rhythm feels good for you today. We're just waking up the fingertips. A lot of people don't often stretch their fingers, so this might be quite challenging for you today, and that's okay. Just work your way through it. Same thing as the last drill, you could do one hand at a time. The last one here. Excellent. Then you're going to back your knees up, back your hands up, so that your wrists are directly underneath your shoulders, knees are directly underneath your hips. And we're going to do some more spine movement. So you're going to tuck your tailbone under first, really work at rounding the back, push the floor away, look for your belly button without shrugging the shoulders, so keep them down and away from your ears. And then you're going to reverse the process. You're going to lift your tailbone towards the ceiling, arch your back, think about spreading your chest bone, look up for the ceiling, and switch. Tailbone tucked under, one vertebrae at a time. I'm really trying to push my spine to the ceiling without shrugging, looking for my belly button, and reverse. Tailbone to ceiling, spread the chest bone, look for the ceiling, and round your back. Really try to go one vertebrae at a time. Look for the belly button, no shoulder shrug. Think about spreading those shoulder blades, and switch. Tailbone to ceiling, look up, and come back. Then we're going to side bend. So I'm trying to bring my hip and shoulder to meet in the middle, and I'm going to come back to the center. So side bending, trying to make the letter C with my spine as I'm curling or crunching shoulder and hip bone to meet at my belly button. You might feel a stretch along the side here. Make sure that you are trying to keep equal weight on knees and hands. And then one more each side. Our spine is supposed to round, arch, side bend, and rotate. So you really want to work your spine in all directions. Then you're going to round your back and sit back into your child's pose. Walk those hands out. And this time I'm really going to try to encourage you to breathe in through your back. So when you inhale, really work at letting those ribs expand and get nice and wide. Make sure you're breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Allowing that low back to round. Reaching as far forwards as you can with your fingers. Then you're going to gently walk your hands to the left. Reach further ahead with the right. Feel a nice stretch down the side here. You can even rotate your chest up to the ceiling. Feel a bigger stretch on the lats. And come back. Reach, rotate, whatever feels best on that side. Then you're going to walk your hands over to the right. Reach further ahead with the left hand. Same thing, make sure you're breathing into those ribs. Rotate your chest towards the ceiling a little bit. And back. Whatever angle feels like you're getting the best stretch, and it might feel different from right to left, and that's okay. Then walk your hands back through the middle. Take one big deep breath in through your nose. Expand those ribs and out through the mouth and come back up. You're going to then flip onto your back. We're going to start to make our way down our hips and down to our lower legs. So my left leg is on the floor, nice and straight. I'm going to grab behind my right leg. So you're going to point your toes or your ankle. You're going to slowly lift your leg as straight as you can. Then you're going to flex. So bring your toes to your nose and then lower your leg into that flexed position. You're always trying to keep the thigh in the same position. And we're not holding this stretch, we're flossing our nerve. So we're going up towards the ceiling, then flex, then bring the heel down towards the butt. Point, up, flex, and down. Point, up, flex, and down. We're going to add a little element to it this time around. So you're going to point, lift up towards the ceiling, flex, then I'm going to rotate my kneecap and my toes. Try to get to 9 o'clock, come back to 12 o'clock, and then I'm going to rotate out knee and toes to 3 o'clock and back, and then bring my leg down. So let's do that one again. Point, straighten the leg, flex, rotate to 9 o'clock, come back to center, rotate to 3 o'clock, come back to center, or 12 o'clock, and then come back down. Let's do that one once more. Point, straighten the leg, flex, rotate to 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, come back and down. Beautiful. Let's switch legs. So grab the back of your left leg, right leg is straight on the floor. You're going to point your toes, kick that leg up, pull toes to nose, and back down. So you're just trying to have a nice fluid motion. You might get a little bit of shaking in the leg, that's okay. Remember, don't force a range that's not there for you today or at this moment. Your range will probably get better as you do the drill. Make sure you're not holding your breath. You're just trying to get all your joints moving, increase blood flow, lymphatic flow, waking up our joints and our muscles. Back down. All right, so let's add the rotations. So you're gonna point your toes, lift the leg, flex, rotate to now 3 o'clock, so inside, back to 12, and then out to 9, back to 12, and down. So the rest of your body shouldn't move when you're doing these rotations. I am saying 3 and 9 o'clock, but you're not actually gonna rotate that much, or you might, depending on your level of flexibility and what sport or activity you do outside of this with us. Toes to nose, rotate the leg in. So remember, it's kneecap and toes, back, and then rotate out, come back and down. One more, lift the leg, toes to nose, rotate to 3 o'clock, back, and rotate to 9 o'clock and back. Beautiful. We're gonna wake up our hip rotators. So you're gonna bring your knees up to 90 degrees, just a mini pelvic tilt. So you're just trying to slightly lift your tailbone off the ground. Take a hand, make a fist, put it between your knees. I'm gonna gently squeeze my fist, pull my feet apart, and we're gonna hold that for 10 seconds. And then part 2 of the drill is that I'm gonna squeeze my feet together gently and then pull my knees apart. So we're working on hip internal and external rotation. We're gonna do 3 times 10-second holds of each position. So make your fist, put it between your knees, gently squeeze, flex those feet, pull your ankles apart, hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feet together, gently squeeze them together, pull those knees apart, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make your fist, squeeze your fist, pull those ankles apart, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ankles together, push them together, knees apart, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make your fist, last round, gently squeeze your fist, pull those ankles apart, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze the feet together, knees apart, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring your feet back down. Let's take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out. And bring ourselves up. We're going to continue on the last 2 minutes just to wake up the rest of our legs. So we're going to do a little bit of a kind of a hip mobility, lower body complex. So we're going to start with our right knee, our right leg up in a half kneeling position. You're going to keep your foot super flat on the floor. You're going to drive your knee as far past your toes as possible. So this would be almost the bottom position of your squat. Big hip flexion, knee flexion, and ankle dorsiflexion. Move that knee around, wake up that ankle. Then you're going to keep your hands on the floor. Try to straighten your legs. If you're able to straighten your legs, try to pull your nose to your knee. Take a nice big deep breath. And then you're going to drop your back knee to the floor and either use your opposite hand to grab your toes. And if that's too much, then use the same side. So move your right hand on the inside of your right leg, grab your toes, Squeeze your bum, pelvic tilt, stretching out our quads. If that's too much for you, just prop yourself up onto your thigh. And then back down and repeat. So knee past toes, waking up that position, especially if you're going to be joining the live Metcon class after with Adam and Haley. Hips up, try to straighten the legs, bring that nose to your knee if possible. Ooh, hairs everywhere. Drop the back knee, pull the toes up to the butt, stretch the quad. You're really trying to pull your belt buckle to your nose, trying to avoid arching the back. And let's switch legs. So we're gonna go left leg up, knee past toes. Like I said, move around in there. Bring your knee as far inwards and outwards as you can. The heel should be nice and flat on the floor. Then pop your hips up in the air. Make sure your hip bones are pointing down towards the floor and you don't have a hip rotated up to the ceiling. Try to bring your nose to your knee. Then drop your back knee. Grab onto those toes. Remember, you could be in a more upright position to feel the stretch in the front of your thigh. Whatever range you have available to you today. And repeat. So knee past toes. You might feel a little bit of stretch in the back hip, but really we're focusing on the front leg, trying to get as much ankle dorsiflexion as possible without letting our heel come off the floor. Then you're going to bring your hips up in the air. Try to straighten the legs if you can. Try to bring your nose to your knee. Make sure you're always taking nice big deep breaths. Drop the back knee to the floor. Grab the toes. Squeeze your bum. Think about pulling your belt buckle to your nose. Excellent. And then we're going to finish up with a nice downward dog. So you're going to start with your wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Spread your fingers on the floor. Drive your bum up in the air. Try to drop your heels. And I'm actively pushing the floor away, trying to drive my armpits to my toes, taking nice big deep breaths. Come back down for a little break. We're going to do one more. 3, 2, 1. Up into that downward dog position. Feel free to slightly bend one knee to add a little bit of extra stretch to the other side. And if you're nice and comfortable here, do that as well. Remember, you're actively pushing the floor away. Walk your feet in. Take a nice big deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Beautiful. That's it, 20 minutes. That's all you need just to get your day started. Tune in with me tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a live event on the same, on the Fitness Lab Instagram live account. And if you are not a morning person and don't have time to do it in the morning, do it on your lunch break, do it at the end of your day. Every day is going to have a slightly different theme. We might focus on different things, but the idea here is 20 minutes of movement to start your day, and it's always going to be head to toe just to get things going. Thanks for joining me, guys. See you tomorrow.